Your Uncle Don't Know Nothing podcast. Your host, Sauce, the analyst, Doc Prime, Big Play Joe, MJ the Playmaker, and Coach Peyton.
I got a question for y'all. What about Daniels? Do you see Daniels having a good sophomore year? I mean, because what he did last year, I mean, you can't really try to hold his feet to the fire and say, "Hey, man, we got to go back to the NFC Championship." But do you think that he has another season where you can look at him and say, "You know what? This guy is for real. He's gonna have longevity. It wasn't a fluke. The Commanders are serious. They got a good program around this young fella, and that he's gonna be that, or will we see what we saw with the guy in Chicago? Everybody was all hyped about the quarterback in Chicago, and then it kind of got ugly looking. What's your take?
The Commanders, in order for Daniels to have a successful season, and I've seen some of their flaws and some of the games they lost, they have to have a running game, a real running game with a real. Robinson has to step up. He has to run at least 1,300 yards and all-purpose close to 2,000. That's the only way he'll be able to grow in that Cliff Kingsbury system, because it is an air raid system, which he doesn't run the ball that much. He likes to pass it a lot, but they have to run the ball. Quinn gonna have to step in and tell Kingsbury, hey, some of these games we blowing people out. You know, hey, we got to get that running game going, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up hurting your quarterback if he keeps throwing and throwing. A good season for Daniels is 4,100, 35 touchdowns, 8 or 9 interceptions, and Robinson runs for almost 1,400 with a couple, all-purpose yards, receiving close to 2,000 all-purpose yards. That's the only way they'd be successful.
That kind of sounds like a tall bill. I mean, is 4,000 yards like, is that like criteria? Is that like average what you need to be getting now? Because I remember at one time 4,000 yards was crazy.
And it's like the norm now.
I think,
but you got to run the ball. I don't care what nobody say. He's going to have 500 touchdowns.
He's going to be like Stroud. Stroud had a great first year.
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah. C.J. Stroud had a great first year. Yep. Didn't have a bad second year. Houston still made the playoffs. Was in position, but it was rougher for him. Why? Film. Teams begin to mark you as, all right, if you're the best in the division, then we're going to play to beat you, right? We're going to build ourselves to beat you. We're going to watch your film first. We're going to circle your games the biggest, right? That marks us. And I think that's going to cause him, that sophomore slump. I think it's real for a reason, right? Now that we know how coaches are going to use you, how you respond, we're looking at your tendencies, etc. That's what everybody is building for. So, I think it's just natural. But I think, just like with Stroud, he's good. I think he's going to be fine. I think as long as the coaches around him come up with some good game plans, I think they'll be, have a chance to be an above average quarterback for the duration of their career, just because Stroud and Daniels both seem to be balanced, hard workers, etc. But do I expect him to explode on the scene and move and be like the 5th best quarterback in the league after those top 4? I do not. I'm not wishing that he doesn't, but I just don't expect that at all.
Yeah, I think they got to add more elements to their game in the short field. And what I mean by that is I think, those guys, the left tackle, Brandon Coleman, I think Chris Paul, I know he's back up for left and right tackle, but those guys got to start moving. And I think they got to get more of a screen game. I think they got to get that going. I think they got to give the quarterback more options, because see what happens when a quarterback goes out and have a season like Daniels, right? All the other teams in the division, they're going to be watching that film, right? And so if you come out and you think you're going to rinse and repeat, you're going to find out the hard way that, this ain't working anymore. So I'm hoping that the coaches are going back and saying, all right, well, let's add this to your arsenal. Let's add that to your arsenal, right? That's what
Scary
they're
term.
going to have to do. The offensive line needs to start moving. They can't just rely on stick and still. They got to start moving. I think a screen game would be a real good addition, and that would get Robertson more in the game. Get him some wide outs, some catches in the flat. Let him run with it, stuff like that. I think that would take a little bit of the pressure off of Daniels, and it will broaden their offense. Because let me tell you, if he think he's going to do what he did last year, after they didn't watch the whole offseason of film, he's got another thing coming. So I hope that the coaches are thinking about that.
Well, they did add Debo, so maybe that'll give some more dynamics to the offense, help them out.